Okay, so all right. So tonight's daf. I don't know if it's hard. I don't know how to define it exactly. We're gonna try and make it as simple as possible. So basically, in the Mishnah, again, we had yodas, right? We had something called yodas of nedarim, which literally means handles or hands of nedarim, which is that the person doesn't say the standard neder, harei alai neder, da da da. He does some sort of variation. So Shmuel had said the pshat in our Mishnah is if he said I am making a mudarani that I'm going to eat what I normally eat from you or what I normally taste from you. So he said both. So Shmuel had said on the bottom of the last Amud, on the bottom of the Alar base, that if he says that shani oichalach, shani toimlach, that's when it's going to be assur on him, but his friend who he's talking about is going to be mutter. So basically, let's say I go over to my friend and say I'm making a neder from you, from what I normally eat from you. So that will make me assur to benefit from my friend, but my friend will be able to benefit from me. Aval, that's in the top line now. But Hayamad Aleph, right? But if a person says that I am just making a neder from you, and he doesn't add in the words of what I normally eat from you or what I normally taste, then they're both going to be assur. Right? So that's what we said. And then we had Rabbi Yossi Rabbi Chanina to back that up. That if somebody says, Mudrani Haimach, if I'm making a neder from you, and that's all you say, even though that's not the standard neder terminology, but since he says it, they're going to both be assur. The guy making the neder and the guy who's on the receiving end of the neder, they're both going to be assur. So the Gemara is going to change Shmuel's din quite a few times on this Amud based on kashas we're going to ask. So again, the simplest way to understand it is that Shmuel says if you use a double terminology, neder and what I eat from you, or neder what I taste from you, then it's only assur from the guy who makes the neder onto he can't benefit from the guy he's talking about. But the guy he's talking about can benefit from him. And if he only says one lashon, then both of them can't benefit from each other. So Gemara is going to ask a couple of kashas from mishnas and braysos about this. Tanan, we learned in the Mishnah, third line down. Hareni alecha cherem. We said cherem in the Mishnah. We said cherem is another lashon of neder. Hareni alecha cherem. If somebody says that I'm a cherem onto you, hamudar assur. The person who the neder was said about, let's say I got Naftali sitting here across from me, right? So I make a neder. I might not say Beli neder on this one, but if I make a neder, right? If I make a neder that I'm not benefiting from, I'm not going to benefit. Here's in this Gemara, the slightest nuance can change the whole pshat. So I hope I say it over right. Hamuda, if a guy says Hareni alecha cherem, I am a cherem on you.
I can't have enough from you.
Correct. I say if I tell Naftali, I am making a cherem on you. So then Naftali Hamudar, he's the guy that I'm talking about. He becomes assur. Aval hamadir loy. But me, the one making the neder, I have no problem. I'm allowed to get hana from him. So what do you see? That there's only one way here. There's no two terminologies. I didn't say from that what you eat from me or from what you taste from me. Yet we said that one is assur, right? So it's a kasha on Shmuel and
you said alecha.
Said alecha, but I didn't say the two. So it should be assur both. We said if you only say one term, one of the terminologies, both should be assur onto each other, right? If you say the double, then it's more specific. So then it's only one onto the other. Whatever it is, you see here that he said 3 words. Or any other, let's go with 3 words, 6 words. According to the way we're saying now, if Shmuel says if you say 6 words, again 6 is lav dafka, but let's go with it for simplicity's sake. If you say 6 words, then only one is going to be assur onto the other, not the other way around. Here, this Mishnah clearly says, it said 3 words, Hareni alecha cherem, which means 3 words should make them both assur onto each other. Yet this Mishnah says that only one is assur to the other one. So the Gemara answers, it's very simple, going to Parish. No, we're talking about where he said, he explained himself. But you are not a cherem to me. So since he specifically said, I'm a cherem to you, you're not a cherem to me, so that's why only one is assur. So the Gemara asks, at olai cherem, because this is the next part of the Mishnah. If you are a cherem to me, so then neder assur, the one who's making the neder is assur, of a mudar loy, but the one who the neder was about is not assur. So again, you see from that Mishnah that if it was only 3 words said, only one of them is assur, not both. You want to get an answer, same answer. In the Parish, it's as if he explained, but me unto you is no neder. So that's why really both of them should be assur, because only 3 words were used. But since he added on afterwards, but I'm not a neder unto you, so that it's no problem. Okay, so then the Gemara asks, but let's say he said it's stam. Right? He didn't say that you're not to me or I'm not to you, and he just said 3 words, shnei and asurin. Then it's mashma that they both should be assur. Right? Which is what we've been saying till now. So, but the problem is, but the Seifa says, Areini alecha v'atalai shnei and asurin. If he says, I'm to you and you to me, they're both assur. Hadinhu to shnei asurim. Then the din is that they're both assur. Mashma. That's only again because he said I'm on to you and you're on to me. Mashma hastama. But if let's say he did stam and he said you're a cherem or you're a neder, whatever it is, who assur? Chavera mutter. He's assur and chavera is mutter. So you see that when you only use 3 words, they're not both assur. Only one is assur. So therefore, that can't be the din. So the Gemara is going to change now. This is what Rabbi Yosi said. Mudur ani lecha shneim asurim. If a guy says, I'm a neder to you, they're both assur. Mudrani heimach, but if I'm a neder from you, then who assur b'chaveri mutter? Then he's assur and his friend is mutter. Again, now what the Gemara is saying is it depends how you are, now we're getting nitty-gritty into exactly how you worded it.
This looks like a dictic question.
What? It is diktuk. It's more than diktuk. I don't know if it's more or less, but it's different. Meaning depending on who we're changing the definition of when he says I am onto you, what does that mean? Right? So again, what we're saying that Rabbi Yosef meant is if a guy says Mudur ani lecha, I am a neder to you, shneim asurim. They're both assur. Because he's putting it onto him. Meaning he's saying you are assur to me, both ways, not that you can't benefit from me and I can't benefit from you. Wadrani hemach, if he says I am a neder from you, then it's only from him. So who assur b'chaveri mutter? He's assur, but his friend is mutter. So Gemara asks, but what about our Mishnah? The Katani Heimach in our Mishnah, if he says I am making a neder from you, and we said that how does Shmuel explain our Mishnah? But Kulon, in all the cases of the Mishnah, in all the cases of the Mishnah, meaning where he says, what was the Lashonos in the Mishnah again? I'm going to stay far away from you. I'm going to make what was the other 2? Whatever, neder for you. With all those 3, they also have to come with him saying, I'm making neder from tasting or eating. So who the assur b'chaveri mutter? He's assur, but his friend is mutter. When he says, I am a neder from you, shneim asurim. They're both assur. So you see that Shmuel is not saying any different. He's saying there's no difference in terminology between saying Heimach or Modrani Heimach. He's saying there's no difference. So they're both there and they're both going to be assur. So it can't. How does Shmuel going to understand it? Meaning, till now we were saying that Shmuel and Rabbi Yosef Chanina are saying the same thing. Then we said Rabbi Yosef Chanina says, no, it depends. Modrani Loch and Modrani Heimach have 2 different meanings. So, but we see that Shmuel clearly doesn't learn like that. So how is Shmuel going to say pshat? Elo meikara the Shmuel hachi yitmar. What Shmuel said in the beginning This is what he means to say. The reason why it's a neder is because he said, I'm making a neder from anything that I eat that's yours, or anything that I taste that's yours. So assur ela ba'achila. Meaning he's saying that he's only making himself assur ba'achila. But if he would have just said, I'm making a neder from you, without explaining the achila and the te'ima assur afilu ba'ana, then he's assur afilu ba'ana. So now, again, using the same lumdas, let's say, let's call it that. If he uses 6 words, right? He says, Madrani mimcha, from what I eat from you, or from what I taste from you. So he's using 6 words. Then he's only assuring himself from eating his friend's foods. Let's say I made the neder from that I'm not going to benefit from Naphtali. So if I added the words shani tayim lach or shanani aichalach, then I'm only asking myself from eating his food, but from benefiting from his food, that's fine. But if all I said is I'm making a neder from you, then I would be assur from assur bahana, from anything that Naphtali gives me, right? That part I think is fairly simple. Again, if you use the six words, then it goes with what he's explaining. I mean, he says I'm making a neder, and then he adds on to it what I eat from you or what I taste from you. Right? So that means, why is he adding those words? It must mean it means specifically he's only making a neder not to eat from the guy or not to taste from the guy, but to benefit from the guy that he's fine with. Right? But if he just says one straight lashon of neder, then that means he's totally making himself assur, totally assur ba'ano.
Both ways also.
What?
Both ways also. He doesn't explain.
And both, well, no, we're not really handling the both ways now, but yeah. So that's what the Gemara thinks now. So the Gemara asks on that, Shmuel, if that's the case, so why didn't Shmuel Shmuel should have explained it much simpler. But if he didn't say the words that from what I'm making a neder from eating from you, or I'm making a neder from tasting you, ain assur ela ba'achila. He's only assur ba'achila. Why didn't he just say it that way? Right? Why did Shmuel have to say, if he says the double lashon and etc., he could have just said it very simple. If he adds the words achila, then it's only assur ba'achila. So that can't be the pshat. Ella, now we're, I think, on to the third pshat or the fourth pshat? Fourth pshat from Shmuel. Halachi yitmar. Time Amar, the reason why it's limited, the neder is shani oichalach and shani taimlach huda assur. Then that's when the neder takes place. So we use the 6 words. I'm making a neder from you, from what I eat from you, or from what I taste from you. Then that's assur. Hiemch, but if the person just says, I am making a neder from you, loy mashma da'amar assur. It's not even mashma that the guy's assur at all. My timer. What's the reason? When somebody says, I am making a neder from you, right? Again, that's all the guy said. I'm making a neder from you. It's very vague. What does a person mean when he says, I'm making a neder from you? So that means, I'm just not talking to you, right? That's what that, mufrashani mimcha. If a person says, I'm separating from you, that just sounds like you're not going to do business with him. And I'm going to stay distance from you. Those are all 3 terminologies used in the Mishnah. It's mashma that I'm not going to stand in your dalet amas. Right? So now the Gemara is really saying a chiddush, that according to Shmuel, if you just very vague and all you do is say 3 words, I'm making either a neder from you, or I'm staying away from you, or I'm separating from you, that those are not nedarim. All they mean to say is that I'm just not going to hang out with you. Basically, those are 3 terminologies. I'm not going to hang out with you. It does not mean a neder at all. But when you add the other 3 words, shani oichalach, shani taimlach, then that tells us that you're making an actual neder from him.
Is the Gemara going the exact opposite direction as the Gemara just went before? It seems like the Gemara is going maybe like from mikatza al katza when it comes to the svaras of Shmuel.
Well, the last two I think fit. The last two.
No, the Gemara just before said, the Gemara is switching now because the Gemara is saying Shmuel's mashma the exact opposite lashon, that he's saying it's even more assur if you left it vague.
No, the last two terutzim are saying that the more vague you say.
The Gemara is saying now if it's vague, it doesn't even work because yadayim shein mechichas lo have yadayim.
Correct.
The Gemara before said no, vague is going to assur everything. It seems like the Gemara is going mikatza l'katza.
Before the Gemara was saying, you're saying that before when you add a eichalach, that actually
that limits it.
The last, the second. You're right. The second to last teretz, yes, that limits it.
Right, but
right.
Be'etzem being more vague, since yadayim shein mechichas have yadayim, it assurs everything.
Right. So
and
now
the Gemara is saying no, it's the exact opposite. So it's a funny, like the Gemara. It seems like the
you're
Gemara
right.
is like going.
You're right. It's making it about face because now the Gemara's learning that this whole thing has to do with yadayim mechichas or not. All right. Let's see what that means. On Talmud Beis now. So now like what Akiva was saying? What are we talking about here? So basically, what the Gemara is saying right now, according to Shmuel, is if you're too vague on a neder, it's not a neder, right? If you just say, I'm separating from you, what were the other ones? I'm separating from you, I'm distancing from you, and I'm making a neder from you without saying what you're doing, it's nothing, right? So what's a pshat? So Gemara asks, Lema on the top line on Hayam Beis, Lema Kosavar Shmuel. Let's say Shmuel holds Yadayim Shein Mechichas. Again, we said Yadayim, which literally means hands, but what it means is a form of a neder. Yadayim Shein Mechichas. If a guy says a neder, let's just use that for simplicity's sake. When you say the word Yadayim means a neder or a quasi neder. When a guy says a quasi neder she'ein mechichas, that there's no proof to what in heaven's name the guy is talking about, lo yahavin yadayim, then it's nothing, right? So that's what Shmuel is saying. If a guy just says, "I'm separating from you," or I'm nedering from you," so we have no idea what the guy's talking about. Okay, so there's nothing wrong. That's fine. See what it says. So the Gemara is asking, is that what he holds? Because you need to show something. So the Gemara says in. Shmuel says our Mishnah is like Rabbi Yehuda. The Amar Yadayim Shein Mechichos Lo Yahavin Yadayim. Shmuel, our Mishnah is going with Rabbi Yehuda's opinion that somebody who does not explain exactly what he's doing is nothing. Now, what's the case? Where does Rabbi Yehuda say this? The Tanan. We learned in the Mishnah in Gittin, Gufa shall get, the guf of a get is what? Hareyat muteras l'chol adam. The body of a get, the main part of a get is when it says in the get, you are allowed to marry anybody you want. That's what the Tanna Kama says is the main part of the get. But again, it doesn't say I'm divorcing you. It doesn't say it in the get. All it says is you are now free to marry whoever you want. It doesn't say that there's a get. There's a divorce. So Rabbi Yehuda, no. Rabbi Yehuda says it has to say v'dein dehavi leichi minai. And this shtar is you, is what you're going to be from me, a sefer teruchin, a sefer of sending you out, v'igeres shvukin, and a letter of shavak means to leave. Right? So Rabbi Yehuda says he has to say that straight out. It's not enough to say to her, you're mutter to any man. Right? You have to say beferish that this get is throwing you out of the house. Right? Yeah.
If he says she's mutter to everybody except the Kohen Gadol, does that mean anything?
Oh, so that's a case. What do we say about that? What do we say about that case? He says it's not a get krisus, I think we said.
Well, by a regular person, if it says anybody except Chaim Yankel, then it wouldn't be because she's allowed to marry Chaim Yankel.
Right, but a Kohen Gadol, though she can't marry him anyways. Right?
Yeah.
Yes, I don't remember what we say about that case. Right,
okay.
yeah. But yeah, so we'll get to maybe the get creases on the bottom of it. But either way, That's the Machlokes in the Tanakama Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yehuda holds you have to mamish say that he is divorcing her, because he holds that you need to have yodayim mechichas. It needs to be very befair. Everything has to be spelled out exactly. The Tanakama says no. As long as he writes in the get, she's mutter everybody else. We clearly know what she's referring to, so therefore he doesn't have to say it straight out. And then the Chacham would say the same thing by neder. A guy can say to his friend, "I'm making a neder from you." We all get exactly what he wants to say. He's saying, I don't want to benefit from it. I don't want everything to do with you. And Rabbi Yehuda is going to say, no, we have no idea what he's saying. And Yodayim is not mechichas, just because we can infer what he's doing, but we can't say that for sure. Okay, so then the Gemara says, Shmuel. So now, normally when you have a Machlokes, Rabbanan and Rabbi Yehuda, so Rabbanan are the majority. So you don't want to go with the minority opinion. So why is Shmuel forcing himself to say that our Mishnah is going like Rabbi Yehuda? Right? Look, and again, am I dochik Shmuel? Look, in the Masisik Rabbi Yehuda, why is Shmuel pushing the Mishnah to say like Rabbi Yehuda? Look, Rabbanan. Let's say it's going like the Rabbanan, that afagav the ein yadayim mechichos, that even though there's no hands here that prove anything, right? Still, it's a neder, right? Meaning, why does Shmuel force himself to go with Rabbi Yehuda that you need to be very specific? Why can't you go with the Rabbanan? You don't have to be so specific. So Amarava Masnisan Kasha, as you know, because he has a kasha from a Mishnah that doesn't allow him to understand it according to the Rabbanan, who hold that you don't need to say things straight out. Because Amai Tani Shani Oichalach Vashani Toyim Lecha. Right? Why does it need to say in the Mishnah that he's making a neder from anything that he eats or anything that he tastes? Listni Shani Oichel Shani Toyim. Why can't he just say, I'm making a neder from you of what I eat and what I taste? What does he have to add the word lecha in there for? We know who he's talking about. Who else is he talking about if not for the guy? Again, let him say, I'm making a neder from you of what I eat and what I taste. Why adding the word lecha? Shmami no. So the reason why it says lecha is because you need to be very, very straight out. You need to say straight out exactly what the case is. And the case is that he's making a neder from his friend, and that's it. So therefore, since it said the word lecha, that means the Mishnah is going according to the opinions that say that everything has to be said straight out. Fine. So now the Gemara says seemingly the same Machlokes that Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbanan have is a Machlokes of Abai and Rava. Itmar Yadayim Shein Mechichos, hands. Again, we're saying that means nedarim that are not obvious. Abaya Omar Habi Yadayim. Abaya says they are hands. But Rava Omar Lo Habi Yadayim. They are not. Meaning, Abaya goes with the Rabbi Yehuda, and it goes with the Rabbanon that you need, that it is Yodayim, even though it's not Beferish. And Rabba says it's nothing. So Amar Rabba, Rabbi Idi Azrali, Rabba said, Rabbi Idi explained to me why we say by Nedarim that everything has to be very specific. Because Amar Kra, the Pasuk says, Nazir lahazir lashem. Right? A Nazir that's making a Nazirus to Hashem, which we learned a couple of blot ago. Nazir lahazir is a double Lashon. It's interesting because usually in Shas, I think, La Hashem is usually with a hey and an apostrophe. No, here it's actually Yud and a Yud. No, I don't remember in Shas. I mean, my memory
this
is
shtickle weird. Yud is not a shame. Yud is not a shame.
Well,
I don't know why they put the things in here.
Yeah. I don't know, but I mean, it's a lot of Sidurim have it.
It's not shameless. That's why they use it.
Yeah. Is that why they use it? Yeah, because it's not Sheamus? So what
came from the old Sidurim. They used to do an Aleph Lamed is one letter, and a Yud is the Shem Hashem.
Right.
So Hashem Elokeichem would be, neither one would be a Shem. Aleph Lamed is not a letter, and Yud is not a Shem. Taisvus uses it all over Shas, Yud when he wants to say the Shem Hashem.
Yeah, I don't remember. Okay, but here the Gemara is using it. It usually uses a hey, right?
Yeah.
Either way, the Gemara is Sheamus, so I don't know. I don't know what's gaining either way because it's Torah. Okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I don't know why they put the two things in it. You have the, what's it called? The two shtachen in it.
Yes. You don't have that?
I do, but I don't know why.
Yeah. Okay, either way. So Rava says the pshat is because it says in the pasuk that a nazir is nazir lahazir lashem. Makish yodos nazirus lenazirus. So nazir lahazir is one is the legitimate nazir where he comes out and he says he is a nazir with the proper terminology, and lahazir is coming to say even if he doesn't use it with the proper terminology. So then we make a comparison between the yodos of nazirus to nazirus. Ma nazirus bahafla, just like nazirus has to be clear. Af yodos nazirus bahafla. Even partial terminology of nazirus has to be bahafla. So what's the case? So the case is
Not the opposite, is partial, not clear.
no. You could have a partial. You're using terminology that's just not the exact terminology you should be using. It is clear. It's just not. It's not what you're supposed to use, right? So the classic case is if a guy's walking by, you can see two guys sitting on a bench, bored on a Shabbos afternoon, and a guy walks by and says, "Hey, if that guy's a nazir, then I'm going to be a nazir." Right? Then you scream out to the guy, "Hey, you a nazir?" He looks at you like you're a sugar nut. Right? He says, "Yeah, I'm a nazir." Okay, so now you're a nazir, right? That's what I mean. That's the Machlokes, whether that's considered a nazir or not, because it wasn't a definite. When the guy says, "I'm going to be a nazir," if this fellow walking down the street is a nazir, that's not a definite nazir. Right? So the assumption, at least the Gemara is saying now, is that that's not considered a nazir. So just like a regular nazir has to be straight out, so too, even when you're saying the partial terminology, it also has to be straight out. And that's why, and from there we learn out to nedarim, right? We said the nazir and neder are all comparable. So therefore, if a guy makes a neder and he doesn't say it very clear exactly what he's referring to and who he's referring to, then it's not a neder. So then the Gemara says, okay, lema plug the Rabbi Yehuda Rabbanu kamifluki. Abai and Rava having the same machlokes as the Rabban and Rabbi Yehuda. Abai and Rava are Amayroyim. Rabbi Yehuda and Chachamim are Tanoim. So what are they having the same exact machlokes? Right? Lema plug the Rabbi Yehuda Rabbanu kamifluki. The Tanan. And then the Gemara just repeats itself. Gufay shall get. The main part of a get is a rei at muteres l'chalodem. That's enough. If he just writes to her, you're mutter to everybody. He didn't write he's divorcing her. He didn't write he's sending her out. He just said you're mutter to everybody. Rabbi Yehuda, no. He has to say that this that you're going to, that's going to be from you, sefer teruchen. This is going to be a sefer of sending out. The get peturin and a get that's potter. The Gemara didn't say that on top and the few lines above it didn't say those. He left that out. I don't know why. Shvukin and a letter of leaving you. So you see that Abai and Rava are having the same machlokes. Abai Tama Karabana. Abai is going like the Rabbana, but Rava Tama Rabbi Yehuda, and Rava is saying like Rabbi Yehuda. So Amar Lach Abai could say no. I know Dami Afilu Rabbi Yehuda, even though Abai said that it's even if it's not obvious, it's good enough. He says I could even go with Rabbi Yehuda, who seems to say that obvious, that it has to be obvious, because Ad can like Rabbi Yehuda being in Yadayim Mechichas, Ba'inon Yadayim Mechichas, maybe only over there by get. Rabbi Yehuda says you need to be very obvious about it. Why? Elagabi get, except by get. The Ba'inon creases, because by get you need to be cut off. The whole point of a get is to cut the wife off. Vileka, and you won't have that unless it's very beferish. If you need to have a full, complete cutting off from the man, right? So he has to make sure it's very clear that he is divorcing her. But who says it? But it's time when you're having interactions between two people. Who says you have to be very definite and very clear about it? Maybe vague is also okay. Rava says I could even go according to Rabbanon, meaning Rava is the one that says you need to have very obvious. And he says, no, I can go like the Rabbanon and hold you don't have to be obvious. Because Ad can like a Rabbanon, the Levin and Yadayim Mechichas. Maybe the Rabbanon said that you don't need it to be obvious. Elagabi get by get. On Tamar Aleph now. Dein Adam Megarishes Ish as Eishes Chavera. Because I mean, what else is the guy doing? Nobody walks over to his friend's wife and says, here, I'm divorcing you. Right? Clearly, if the guy is talking about that she can go marry somebody, right? Then clearly that means he's divorcing his wife, not somebody else. But so therefore you don't have to be so clear. But if it's two people having interactions with each other, are you going to say that they don't have to be clear? You have to be very clear. So therefore we don't know. We don't necessarily say that Abaye and Rava are having the same machlokes as Rabbi Yehuda and the Tanna Kama. Now the Gemara, this next Amud Aleph, is going to ask a bunch of questions on it. Okay, well, at least the dafim go fast in the Nedarim. Whether we understand them or not, I don't know. Whether they go, but they do go. They do go fast. Tomorrow I have a chassan in Lakewood. Chuppahs was 7:30. The chayra hopefully be over by 8:30. But the daf is short, so I might just send out that it started a little late. What's going to be with the Kitzer Shir? I'm not sure. I'll send out to the Olam exactly when we'll do that.
The short blot is the reward for getting through Ksubis.
Let me just tell you something. Ksubis had some geschmacka stuff at least. Nedarim is dry.
Yeah, that's true.
Nedarim is very dry.
It's,
But,
yeah, I don't know
okay.
if it's dry. It's just that everything on the surface is not saying anything. Everything's in the Iran and like these Mefarshim. Like it's not dry. It's just like there's so much going on that's not. It's very under the surface.
Right. Yeah, I don't. Is that called under the surface, or is it just
It
that's
is. I
the
mean,
way
we didn't
to
discuss-
understand exactly what's going on?
There's entire sugis that we just went over, like entire sugis and shots that the Gemara is like being nifla into like 5 lines. The Gabe get and the Rishonim are being clear exactly what's going on in these sugis and who we pass on like.
Oh yeah, I didn't even look up Shulchan. I meant to look up the Shulchan Aruch today. How we pass him. All right, Shine.
And the Ran goes through a whole shtickle terror on this, how we pass it, and you know.
Yeah, it's a big machlokes. It's a big machaber ramah. It's a machlokes that I know. I just didn't.
Do we pass him like Rabbi Yehuda? Do we pass him like? Can we pass him like Rava and Rabbi Yehuda?
Yeah.
Makes a difference in the Sidurim. We do a
The Gabi
Tarsanar
get-
Rosh Hashanah, whether you say the Yadana or the Lo Yadana. There's different size.
What do you mean in what's it
At
called?
Rosh Hashanah, at Taras Nedarim,
Yeah.
at Rosh Hashanah. Some Sidurim have the Hein what's the Lashon? I don't know. Hein
I was just
Oisam
talking-
Yadanu,
yeah.
Hein Oisam Shalai Yadanu.
Yeah.
Right.
That's this. That's
No,
Yadan
I know. I'm saying forget about it. Taras Narim. Get is a bigger shiloh. You know exactly how we pass it. What lashon we should be
what?
using? The Gabi, what lashon you should be using? If you don't use that lashon, is that considered a good get anyways? We pass like
Oh, kids, you talking about? Yeah.
Yeah, and if we pass like Rabbi Yadayim Shein Vichich Le'av Yadayim, can we still pass like the Rabbanan, the Machlokes Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbanan?
Right.
I mean, that's the Ran. I'm saying, but like all that's going on below the surface, at least the way we're
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? Thank the Ran for all those long runs. Although maybe not. He said we look at it that way. We'd probably, if not for the Ran, so there'd be 20.
Well, there would only be
less
60
blot.
blot
Right.
Yeah.
So then we'd finish Shas. You'd finish Shas a month earlier.
a month earlier.
Meaning, bottom line is they're gonna they're gonna. I mean, although no, if you look at tonight's blot, there was no reason the Gemara had to repeat that Mishnah of the get.
Right. Except that it added a line.
It added 2 words.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't know why it added the 2 words. Yeah.
You know, this Rava, the way he learns Rav Idi's drasha, what does Abaye do with that? What's the status quo? What does Nazir mean? Does Abaye and Rava masking the Nazir, the word Nazir, just say that. It would have to be
Is
Mechichos.
that enough? Just saying, you just say
It
the
would have
word
to be
Nazir?
Ba'afla. I'm
Just
saying
say the
the
word.
way Rav Idis explains it, just the word Nazir alone means Ba'afla. So Lahazir he learned, so Lahazir adds Yadois, so that also needs to be Ba'aflo. What does Abaye hold of the word Nazir? Are they masking? Is this like Chatzitza for Tvila? There's Rubayu Makpid, and then you can take it both directions. But Rav is taking it one direction, Abaye takes it both directions.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I mean, he's saying
By Rubayu Makpid, right? By Chatzitza.
Right.
So Chazal and Geyser, Miyotu Makbid and Rubai Ve'enim Makbid.
Right.
So it's two different directions. So here, Rav is
Well, it's not
saying
really.
that the original word is
same.
Ba'afla.
Not
So
the
we're
same.
adding Yodus. It's not the same because it's in derices.
No,
but
but I'm saying you are headed in the same direction. It's not like different directions.
Yeah, but it's a double. Maskim, it's the same direction, but Rava takes it one step that to add Yodus, but they still need to be Ba'afla. Like Nazir was Ba'afla, Yodus also needs to be Ba'afla. Where that's Rava, sorry. And Abaya says, would L'chaira have to say, then somehow skips one. Nazir is Ba'afla.
Right.
Lehazir is Yodus, even Shalai Ba'afla.
Why are you saying that?
That's what Abaya holds.
He's saying even Nazir is going to be. He's going to say Nazir too. He's going to say Nazir too, but not just Lehaz.
I thought that was Pasha Pshat in Nazir. What is a Nazir? If I were to ask you what's a Nazir, you tell me all the dinim. That's Ba'afla. It's clear. You tell me everything. We know what a Nazir is. When you add something to that, what are you adding?
Yeah.
I would just think you could either go in one direction or the other. Either you go in the direction of Ein Meichichos or Yadayim. But how do you get to Yadayim She'ein Meichichos? And it's like the Ramon Lulois, the Chavos Das says it's a mistake. Miyat Ve'enim Akbid.
I hear.
Abaya seems to be saying that the extra word lahazir takes you in both directions. That's why I was saying it's like the gzeira of chatzitza for tefillah. One gzeira
Right.
takes you in two directions. So Abaya is doing the same thing, and he's even adding yadayim she'ein mechichos, not just
Right. Yeah. I hear you. All right. Ich weiß. This is going to be, I'm going to try again to make tonight's stuff. I couldn't find anything else interesting. There was nothing in the last
it's all
night.
lumdus. It's all massive lumdus. These lattes.
Numbers with diktuk. I mean, it ain't exactly a recipe for, but yesterday at least there was some wine, so we fit it into some yayin nesach halachas. Tomorrow maybe we get some tzedakah.
Oh, it's tomorrow already?
Yeah, starts. It's more, I think, the next. Yeah, whatever. We'll have to see.
All right.
All right. Fine.